What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Johnny. I'm your host, and this is episode 4 of the Retro Ground podcast. And in front of me, man, I have the one and only Retro Silverback. We officially met at a Bits and Beer. It was last year, right? I think it was last year, last June, right? I think we officially met at a Bits and Beer event. Officially, but unofficially, we actually met at the San Fernando Swami. This is where he normally vends. Yes. And we were hunting. I think I was looking for collectibles to resell at the time. But I had seen you and I had bought some stuff from you. And that's where we had unofficially met. But officially, we met at the Bits and Beers. And let everybody know your name and the name of your business. And let's start from there, man.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel, a.k.a. Retro Silverback.
Retro Silverback, man. And this man, my hat goes off to him. He's a full-time reseller, video game reseller, man. That must take a lot of guts, bro, just to really depend and rely on selling video games. Is it discouraging at times when you don't make the sales and you set up because you have a pretty big setup, so you set up a 10x10, right?
Yes.
So is it a little bit discouraging at times when you set up the whole thing and you're like, oh man?
Definitely. Sometimes, because like a regular spot, like on a Tuesday when I'll sell, it's $45. Sometimes the other spots are like $60, and so I have to first make some sales to get to that, and sometimes it's super slow. I don't know if it's the weather and people won't come through.
Yeah.
And then it's like you'll end up making like $40 for the whole day.
Oh,
and I'm
man.
just there like, oh man, I couldn't even make enough to pay for the spot,
I see. Yeah.
But I like to stay positive, I'll be like,
you're very optimistic.
You're like,
very
we'll
positive.
do better the next day.
Of course.
Just keep positive. So we got good days and bad days,
Yeah, 100%. And for those of you who don't know, he vends at the San Fernando Swami. What days and where? Do you have a specific location, a letter, or where can people find you?
Oh, so Tuesdays, Fridays, and maybe a random Sunday I'll be there throughout the month. But I usually post it on my Instagram the day before what spot I'm going to be located at.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit how did you come up, or what inspired you to name it Retro Silverback? Because it's a monkey, right?
Yeah, gorilla.
A gorilla.
Yeah,
Is it difference?
Well, yeah, it's silverback gorilla. You know how it's like.
Oh,
yeah.
Retro Silverback.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What inspired you to get the Retro Silverback? You like gorillas?
Yeah, definitely. It was like since I was a little kid, I always have like gorillas and stuff like that, like King Kong.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Kaiju.
I'm surprised why you don't have King Kong as your, crushing a remote control or something.
Donkey Kong, stuff like that.
Donkey Kong, bro.
I like gorillas, like my favorite animal. So
that's cool.
I said retro, selling video games,
100%.
Stuff. I might put my favorite thing with another favorite thing.
Yeah. And how did the idea come about? How did you come up with, like, you know what, I do want to be a video game, Pokemon, Pog. I mean, this man has Pogs, but I haven't seen Pogs in a long time. But how did the idea come about, you wanting to be an actual full-time reseller? How did that idea
Okay,
come
so
to birth?
I had a lot of jobs, here and there, but I was never like really like happy about it, like.
What kind of jobs did you have?
I've done everything. Dishwasher, worked at a 7-Eleven.
No way.
Yeah, like I do construction on the side too.
Mm-hmm.
So just like a lot of random stuff here and there, and I was never like so then
What's been the worst job you had that you were like, man?
Oh, I used to work at this restaurant, but I used to clean, I was the new guy, so I had to clean all the...
Like a Mexican restaurant? Or?
Yeah. But like in the back of the restaurant, like with all the sink and all the stuff,
dishes,
all the food will go, and it was like a drain in the back, so I had to like just clean all the rotting stuff, get all the food out, and it wasn't like a professional thing, they'll just give me like some gloves, like a little hook and a bag to take everything out. It's like not even
how much were you making, man?
Oh man, back then at that time, I don't know, like around maybe $10 an hour or something.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. By the way, I haven't asked, but how old are you, man?
I'm 36.
You're 36.
Just turned 36 on
No way.
January.
You're 36, bro.
Yeah, I'm 36 years old.
Man, dude, I thought you were like 25, 26
nah.
years old. Dude.
I didn't really party a lot when I was younger, you know. No, so
yeah. Wow, man. So clean, man. And so you didn't really like your previous job, so you kind of figured, hey, I'm gonna make a business model out of selling video games. What was your first sale? Your first sale?
So I started on eBay.
Okay.
And I remember watching videos of people who sell on eBay and swap meets and stuff like that. And I can't remember who the YouTuber was, but I remember him saying something like sell what you know or what like you're into, you know.
Gotcha.
So then I was like, you know, I always be big on video games, Pokemon cards, figures, and stuff like that.
Of course.
And I used to live in North Hollywood, so my Goodwill was like 5 minutes away from my place where we used to live, walking distance. The Goodwill right there on Lancashire.
By the Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And the CVS.
Yeah, I used to live like right in the back of the In-N-Out in that area, like back there.
Did you eat In-N-Out every day? You got over it?
No, here and there. I still love In-N-Out. Like, it's probably the best fast food kind of burgers for me, you know. But once I saw that video, I used to go a lot of Goodwill, not just for figures and stuff, but just for random stuff, you know, buy stuff for myself and stuff like that. And one time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go at eBay. And
how long ago was this?
2018, 17.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when
before COVID.
Yeah, that's when I started selling on eBay. 2017, I want.
So you have like a good 7 years under your belt as a reseller.
Yes.
Well, online you started, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I started on eBay.
That's what's up.
I remember going to Goodwill, and in that Goodwill, all their good stuff, they'll put it like in a little like glass cabinet display kind of thing. And I remember walking in, and there was like about 10. What's this cartoon called? Thundercats. They had about 10 figures and a couple of vehicles. And I remember it was like for like $35, $45, the whole little group. And then I was like, you know, I could make some money out of this, guys. I had seen some videos, you know, stuff. So I took them home, started searching the names and everything. And there was this one figure there. It was the main character, Lionel, if I believe that's the name of the character.
I'm not really familiar, but
And I was like, this guy doesn't seem like the other ones. The ones that came out here, like in America and other places, had a little stick in the back that'll make the arm swing sore.
Okay.
But this one, it was just solid, you know, like no little thing in the back. So I started searching it, and then it was a special edition one called Thunderwing Lionel. Wow. And he had like this little vest with some like bird wings. And I saw that it was really rare, put it up on eBay in bits, and that was my first sale. It went for 500 plus.
No way.
My first sale.
You sold your first action figure for $500.
Yes. It was like $580, so almost $600.
Wow.
And then I was like, wow, really? Out of $35, and I probably made another $200 out of the rest of the figures and the vehicles. Then I was like, no way. I turned $35, $45 to almost $1,000.
Man,
and that's what made me
want to go full time.
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually very inspiring, man. I mean, for you to find the whole set or a handful of them for $35 and make a good profit.
Yes, and that's what inspired me. I was like, I'm going to keep going at it.
Wow.
But I went for, the stuff that I knew, you know, like the figures and stuff like that.
Yeah. What about your first in-person sale? What was it?
First person, that was, I started selling back in March of last year.
Mm-hmm.
February, March of last year. That's when I started at the San Fernando Swap Meet. And my first sale was a GameCube.
Oh, no way.
A regular black GameCube.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was my first sale.
Wow. How much you sell that for?
I think it went for $80 at that time.
That's cool, man.
$80.
So prior to being at the Swap Meet, you were always selling on eBay since 2018.
eBay and Instagram, you know, like people that I met through Instagram, mostly cards like Dragon Ball Z, some Pokemon, some video games here and there.
Gotcha. And to start what you have now at the swap meet, obviously you have a good amount of inventory. How much money did you spend, or how much money did you spend overall having? Because I'm sure you had inventory on eBay, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how much money would you say got the business started?
Before I started doing the swap meet thing, I bought a big video game collection from one of my best buddies' father-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
His brother was a collector. He lives in Japan now, and then he told me about it. Like, hey, like I got some games. So I went over, and it was like a good close to $2,000 that I invested on it.
Like $2,000 for video games to get started.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you feel like eBay's better or in person, or like it varies?
I think it varies because sometimes like I have like a rare item, let's say from Japan, that people won't know about it at the swap meet. Like let's say a deck box or something, and if I sell it at eBay, the people know that it's like a rare deck box or something, and they're willing to pay.
So people who buy online know what they're buying, basically.
Yes.
People who come to your spot at the swap meet don't really know what. So when they see the ticket price,
they're
kind of like, what?
Yeah, why is this deck box $80? If it's just a box, like no cards, no nothing in it. And then like I'll explain it to them. They'll understand, like, oh, okay, it's like from this year, limited, came from Japan kind of thing. But it's like, so it depends, like.
Yeah. Is that kind of one of the ones that you gifted to me?
Oh, yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh one, they go like about $80, $100. So it's like, I could never, and I've taken it to the swap meet and put it at $40, $60. Nobody looks at it. They just be like, does it have cards in it?
How much did you pay for that?
That, I paid around $20, maybe $13 sometimes, like from $10 to $20. I used to pick them up.
Man, so if I wanted to, I can sell that for $100. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna sell it.
You got a solid maybe $80 for it.
Oh man. So my next question would be, how many shows do you have under your belt, man?
Officially, 3. First event was Bits and Beer.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 were your events.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
So both of the VGSs you've been... Wow. I don't know why. I thought you had way more than that.
No. I just started. Wow. I've just been doing the whole swap me thing. But your 2 events that you had. And the
VGS 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys, if you guys haven't followed me for a long time, we had VGS, pre-VGS, which is just by myself. Then we had VGS 1 with him and VGS 2, and he couldn't go to the VGS 3. But so, wow. So officially you have 3 shows, 4 with the Bits and Beer?
Yeah, that's coming.
Wow, man. So you're basically, you're basically almost starting to do these events, right? Is there a reason why you didn't do them, or you've been intimidated, you just don't really know about it, or is it the pricing as far as paying, or...
I think it was like more about like me getting to know people at the swap meet. Like I started selling, a lot of buyers will come and be like, hey, you do any events and stuff like that? And then, they'll tell me, oh, this event's coming up. Kind of like, I guess it was more connections. Like I didn't know.
Got it.
And so I started meeting new people, new sellers from the swap meet. And they'll talk to me and they'll let me know about an event. And I was like, well, yeah, if I could, you guys give me a chance.
I think, no, of course, because I think when we got you into VGS, it was my cousin, right? My cousin. And like I said, my first one, say the story all the time. I started doing this when people ask me. I didn't do this to take it serious, bro. This is literally like my main thing is installing custom aquariums in people's homes, celebrities, stuff like that, mansions, whatever, right? And when I started doing this, when I went to your booth when we met unofficially, I was kind of looking at things that were cool. So I bought the Power Rangers to bring in here.
Yes.
And when we brought it here, my little 3-year-old started like taking off the sticker and started opening. That's why I have the Pokemon that I bought, the Pokemon Blue, up there because she opened a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I told my girl, like, dude, because she would come, right? I'm like, no, she opened up Mrs. Potato Head that was worth money. But she didn't know, bro, right?
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
So it all started with overflowing inventory that I wanted to get rid of. So everything that I had at the VGSs, it's just stuff that I just was kind of like, I'm gonna get over it. So that's how I kind of came about, and it's now built friendships, like you said, not knowing people. It built friendships. Like now I know you. Now I know Sports Fell In, I know Retro Prince, and I know a handful of several guys, but I literally started just kind of doing it out of fun, right? And now it's taking it to a toll where we have some subscribers on YouTube. And to get onto, I know you specialize in Pokemon cards, so what would you say, before we jump onto the Pokemon cards, what is your favorite video game of all time?
Definitely it has to be Super Smash Brothers.
That's what I'm... 64?
I started with the 64,
Gotcha.
but I feel like I enjoy all the Super Smash. It's one of those.
But if you had to pick one that you have to play for the rest of your life,
probably Melee. That one's
man. Melee. Smash Bros. 64
it's really
is cool.
Competitive, and it's like I'm not a pro at all.
Okay,
but I'm good enough to play with like your buddies. And it's one of those games that, like, I feel like anybody could pick up, just a couple of buttons. And there's a character for everyone.
Of course. Who's your favorite character for Super Smash 64?
Samus.
Samus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Samus, yeah.
I'm Yoshi all the way.
Yoshi? Yeah.
Mario a little bit. Yeah.
My Samus. And then, back then, what's his name? With the Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
He was there. He was an unlockable character on the 64.
Yeah. Oh man. What about now moving? I know you do Pokemon. What's your favorite Pokemon card of all time?
The OG Blastoise.
The first one?
The first Blastoise.
Reverse hollow or regular hollow?
Just the hollow. Yeah, I think it was just hollow back then, just the regular one. It was actually, I still have my original one for the 4th grade.
Yeah.
I remember there was this kid, one of my buddies, named Gibork, back in 4th grade. And everybody would take their Pokemon cards. My parents would buy me a booster pack here and there, so I had my little 40 stack of cards, but nothing too big. And I remember everybody will be showing their cards and stuff like that, and they'll tell Gibork, hey, you don't got no Pokemon cards? Yeah, but I don't like bringing them, and everybody would be like, sure, kind of thing. And this one day, out of nowhere, Gabor calls me, like in recess. I still remember it. And he's like, hey, Daniel, come. So I walk up to him, and I'm like, yeah? And he's like, look at this. Boom. The kid had a binder with, like, Charizards, 10 copies, Blastoise.
Oh, my goodness, bro.
Bunch of cards. And I was like, and people would be like, oh, this kid, his family has money, But, yeah, he had a bunch of cards.
What elementary was this, bro?
Huh?
Or what city? What elementary?
Colfax Elementary.
What city is that?
North Hollywood.
Oh, North Hollywood.
Yeah,
okay.
It should be North Hollywood. Yeah, it's it was between North Hollywood High School and Walter Reed Middle School. It's like right in between, in the same lane. Like if you walk North Hollywood High School, all straight is right there.
Okay.
And I remember he called me and he showed me his collection. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to show it to the rest because." I guess he didn't want to be like show off.
Or maybe he didn't want to get jacked.
Yeah, or something. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. I was like, I never had seen so many Pokemon cards. And then I was like, cool. So then I start walking away. And he was like, Daniel, come. And then he took out a Blastoise. And he's like, oh, for you. He gave it to me. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, take it. You know how? And then
can you imagine how much money that's worth now, bro?
Yeah, that kid.
And graded?
Yeah, definitely.
Man, bro.
And that's I still have my OG Blastoise.
What? The same one?
The same one. That one that he gave me. Yeah, I still have it in my collection.
Bro. That's awesome, man. That definitely has a lot of sentimental value.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like he just literally, hey man,
here you go. Yeah,
that is so cool, man. And the fact that you have it, bro.
Yeah, I still have it.
Oh man, if you have kids, are you gonna hand that to your son or your daughter?
Yeah, maybe. But if it doesn't end up happening, maybe just my oldest nephew right now,
Okay.
my 13-year-old.
But you gotta hand that down with the story, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? With the story, like, hey, bro, this is like passed on generations, man. You know
what happened.
That is so cool, man. Onto the next question would be, what has been your favorite event that you've done? Obviously, you have 3 under your belt, but which one out of all of them? It's cool if it's not mine, bro. I'm not even stressing on it, bro. So, which one has been your favorite event out of all of them?
Okay, like I enjoyed all 3 events. Bits and Beer, and your first 2 events that I did with you.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Bits and Beer, but I was nervous, so I feel I didn't enjoy it as much. Because when I got
nervous as in like,
I felt like the little guy there. Like,
okay.
When I started setting up my stuff, all the other sellers, they had like grails and stuff, and their setup looked all nice and stuff, and everybody knew each other already. So I was setting up, and I was kind of like, just saying no, taking my time. And I was really nervous.
Oh wow!
And like, as it went on, I got less nervous and less nervous, but I felt like I was just like with anxiety, the whole time that I was selling there.
Wow.
And
so this Bits and Beer is coming up right now. This will be your second time being there.
Yes.
Nice.
And I'll say the last event that you had, that I joined, was probably the funnest. Like,
okay. That was the one.
The second one.
That was the one where, man, hold on. Yeah, Retro Prince was there. I'm trying to think. Was because the second one we didn't have a really good friend who sells the handmade soaps. She wasn't there the second time, right?
No, she was there the second.
She was there the second time. So she was there second and third time.
No, I don't. She wasn't there the first time. She wasn't there the first time. The first time it was your cousin.
Yeah.
You. Me. This guy, I forgot his name. He brought the big Spider-Man vinyl.
Yeah. That's yeah. I know who you're talking about, man. Retro Monster, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was only like four or five of us. Yeah, the first one.
That was the first one. Yeah. So the second one, the VGS2 was that the one where
you had an arcade? Ricardo was making the shirts.
Actually, that one was fun. That's when even the FedEx guy pulled over?
Yes.
No, actually, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That one was actually that was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
That one was fun. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Like I said, I wasn't gonna take no hard feelings, man.
No. But
has there ever been an event where you vended, right, and you didn't make any money, like at all, like anything at all, like where you're like, so I guess my question would be, or lost money, right? Because the reason I say is because I asked, Pokestop, and he says his first event, man, he said, or one of the events, I think it might have been his first one, bro. He says, bro, I made $4, right, and I think they charged him $40, and he's like, technically, I only profited $2 because my sister bought $2 worth of vending machine, but I gave her the $2.
Okay.
So he like, I literally made $2, so I lost like $38.
I forgot about an event.
Yeah.
It was bad because I think I paid around $50-$60.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I had forgotten about it.
So you have four
I had
events.
forgotten about that one. It was so bad that I forgot about it,
Oh,
and
no.
It was like, it was well organized. The vibe was really nice. Everybody was vibing and stuff, enjoying the show, but just people didn't come through. And that's like, I feel one of the things that you do need, like
marketing.
Yeah.
I think marketing for anything is very important, and that's why I feel like people have told me, they're like, I feel like you fit in so well because I do this for my primary business, right? And that's how I've blown up, just marketing. Whether it's videos, whether it's SEO, keywords, and then I still, that comes,
and all that.
So that honestly comes from my background as a graffiti artist, right? So now I put all my knowledge that I've learned, right, from my primary business, is like all the SEO, all the hashtags, all the algorithms, all that good stuff I've learned, right, through experience and through great friends. Shout out to my buddy Ricardo, Ricky. And he's shown me a lot, bro. He's showing me how it works, how the Google world, anyways. But the banners and the flyers, all that stuff comes from the background of being a graffiti writer back in my high school days. So that's why I feel like
rebel years.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you. So obviously that event's the worst. So what's the biggest sale that you made in an event that you're like just the one? I'm not saying like multiple. I'm just saying like the one sale that made you a lot of money. Just one person. Like I said, like I know there's days you might make a couple hundred, but that's everyone included. Just the one sale that you made a lot of money.
That was for your event, the second one that you had.
VGS2?
Yes.
You don't have to share, but
no,
how much money did you make that day?
I want to say like about 1,200 from the same person.
No way.
Yeah.
My goodness. Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh man. So you made 1,200 and one sale for one person?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, bro. That's the biggest sale you've done.
Yeah.
What's the closest that's gotten to that, bro?
Oh, nah, nothing. Like from one person?
Yeah, from one person.
Oh, nah, maybe like $250 or something at the swap meet. Yeah, a person came, bought Super Nintendo.
That's so
some
cool,
games,
man. That's so cool.
But like I tell people, like even though like I'll price my stuff, and I tell them like, hey man, like you see the prices, don't get scared. Like make me I already try to put them like a couple of bucks, like even if you say $5 here and there lower than eBay.
Yeah.
But then I always let them know, I'd rather make the sell here than
you have to pay the fees, the time to
put it
box
together,
it,
ship it. So I could always still work out. I always tell them I work out a deal with you.
That's cool.